Duncan. Jim Duncan is going to tell us. He's a true northerner, proper northerner.
Proper northerner, yeah.
Not like all those sort of middle of the country people that we know, like 3-speed Dave with his wata, or whatever. Proper north. Jim, what can you tell us in your beautiful accent? What can you tell us?
Well, this is basically my Bonneville speed bike. I built this to go to Bonneville for a break a land speed record.
Oh wow!
Built it in 9 months. From September, I got the frame in the September, and in the July it was going into a shipping case, ready to fly across to America as a run-in bike.
Right.
Having never turned a wheel under its own power. Until it was sitting on the start line at Bonneville.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay, well done you for putting the pressure on yourself.
Yeah, well, you've got to have pressure.
Yeah,
you've got to have a
and
bit
belief.
of pressure. And belief in yourself, yeah, definitely. I managed 7 runs at Bonneville.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more than a lot of people with big teams manage. I never got a record, but it's not about breaking records. It's about building beautiful things and spreading the love.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, okay, what did it start as and take us up?
This actually started as nothing, right? I bought a brand new old stock engine for a guy in Wyoming.
Right.
And I have a friend in Romania who makes these wonderful frames and copper work.
Yeah.
That's what he does for a business.
Yes.
And I got in conjunction with him to basically help advertise and get his stuff on the market. Because as you can see, it's beautiful. All hand built. Every single joint in the frame, they're all handmade. Tubes are all hand polished and hand brazed. No machine work in it whatsoever. The rest of the stuff I just made in my shed. I decided it's much better being left how it goes, and how it ends up is how it'll end up.
But it's pretty. I love the simplicity of the bars. I love the
mechanical. That's a steering damper. It's actually it has Bonneville fork stops on it. You're only allowed 15 degrees handlebar turning at Bonneville.
Oh, okay.
But for me to ride this on the road,
yeah,
the fork stops are actually removable. They come out for there, so that you can actually.
Oh, you can get right.
You can go. Gotcha. You can actually turn it.
Wow.
And you've got to have. The thing about Bonneville, you've got to have certain bits to fulfil the SCTA regulations. That's why it's got modern tyres on it.
Yeah.
You've got to have V-rated tyres. That's why it's got a damper on the front. You've got to have damping on your front suspension. So just make a proper old damper. You've got to have a steering damper. So why spend £15 on a Chinese steering damper when you can spend 10 hours in your garage making stuff that looks a bit better?
He's talking your language there, Craig.
Definitely.
What's your take on that?
I love it. It's my favourite one here, I reckon.
I said, is there anything in here that stands out that's caught your eye? And he said, come with me. And this is where we came.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It was a brand new engine as well. Brand new engine and gearbox. Came all the way from Wyoming. And it's now a 600cc. It's got valves out of a Peugeot diesel in it.
Was you actually looking for one of these engines? Or did you just come across
No,
it by chance?
I was Chris Ireland's crew chief for Bonneville and at Pendine, and I was fed up helping him race his bike. I thought, do you know, I'm going to build my own Indian and race my own Indian. So I set out and I actually found one. And I got that before they became really popular.
Yeah.
Now, arm and a leg and a kidney. I was just an arm and a leg. These are fake. And it's all basically done for one thing, and that was basically try and go as fast as I could at Bonneville. I didn't go as fast as I could, but now I know what I did wrong, so I can go back next year and I'll have changed up all the different bits.
And it gives you that excuse to get back.
Of course.
Yeah, of course it does.
It's got a lovely feature on this side here.
Let's
If you look at the lovely bend on the bell mouth here.
aerodynamics.
Never trust your girlfriend to hold your bike for you.
Just in case anybody's wondering how much, it's not a euphemism.
So I'd left that on there just as a wee homage to her.
It's a reminder now and again.
Every time.
Yeah.
Course bike 797, first mile 110.079 in the quarter, 114.924 through the final mile, 114.574. The rookie course bike 279er, speed of 111.498, 111.
I thought, right, I need like a modern GSX or whatever, they attach them up here, so I thought I'll do an old style version of the modern steering damper, and that's just what turned up. It's a replica Druid fork spring. Things just come out. You know what it's like. You just think it's on, and then that's it. These are actually, I made this out of 50-year-old copper. I got given that when I started my apprenticeship by my tradesman as a turner, and he did it for years. It was an old big chunk for straightening up stuff in the lathe. I thought, do you know, I'm going to machine that down. I'm going to make my tops, and I'm going to make my wee fork ends.
Yeah.
So just a wee bit of history. My mate gave me that because every Indian's got to have a silver dollar on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, where are you putting my silver dollar? So I'm going to make a gear change knob and stick it in there, just as a wee thing.
And so where do you do all this work?
I've got a shed.
And then just decided, clearly we're not giving you his address because too many will be around there, you magpie bunch.
I've got a shed in Scotland. There you go.
Yeah.
I just do it in my shed, that's it. That was made by a really old blacksmith for me for good luck. And
Brilliant.
he
I know there'll be a story.
He died last year.
All right.
And the friend that he gave it to me through, he's like, what do you ever do with that old horseshoe? He says, I'm going to put it on my bike and take it to Bonneville.
Brilliant.
So I rough soldered it on there, because that's about as good as a soldering as I can do.
That's great though.
So that horseshoe was made by Eki, the blacksmith. And it'll forever be there.
Definitely. I'd love to hear it, but I think everybody will frown upon that.
Do you want me to start it?
Yeah, go on.
I'll take a couple of goes because it's not been started.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I commend you all. Let's go and look at this bike.
Yeah, I told you. I've been back a couple of times. It just kept getting me.
There's a simplicity about the bars, isn't there? Everything about
I love everything about it. Look at the kickstart. It engages onto the gear.
it. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. That was sweet, eh?
It's a good start.
Ah.
No, don't stop. Get your head down. Oh, Jim, go faster than that.
And stuff like that.
It takes that long because like you're at Bonneville, you can be an hour and a half or 2 hours between each time you get to run. So you've got to do a run, find out what you did wrong in that run, sort it, go back and do the next run to make sure what you've sorted isn't too much. I'd done 3 runs and realised that the big petrol tap that's meant to produce enough petrol for a Harley, you couldn't keep a scooter going with it. So I ended up drilling it out in the van. 100 quid it cost me. I thought, well, that'll be a high flow one, big exit on it. Ended up putting a 3/8 drill right down through the middle of it. So it's got no filter now.
Yeah.
But it still turns on and off. That's the sort of lessons that you start mucking about with jetting, thinking that it's running too lean, but it's actually not getting enough petrol.
Yeah.
So once you sort that out, it's all a learning curve when you get there. Between second and third gear on this, it's like going from third to sixth in your car. It's a huge gap because these were designed to run about in second gear on the battlefield. And then if you were taking a letter to the commander or whatever, you got onto a road. That's what third gear was for.
Right.
So when you're actually trying to go fast, you need to get as fast as you can in second and hope the power doesn't drop off. So when you put it into third, it's still got enough to pull it.
Oh wow.
So, and it's all about gearing as well.
I can imagine it's a bike that'll stay with you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's one of the things. It only took me 9 months to build it, but it was a long time in the planning and to get it done in a short period of time. And it'll go in my living room. Eventually, once I get too old to ride it, it'll go in my living room. But it'll go back to Bonneville at least another 2 or 3 times. I'll keep going back till I get a record.
Good. Yeah, we'll hold you to that.
See a bit of Burt Monroe going on.
Yeah. No, we love it. And it's called Funky Shit.
It's called Funky Shit because one of my mates came into the garage and he was like, "That's some funky shit going on there." so it stuck. Because every bike's got to have a name.
I think that's wonderful. What is it like to ride?
It's actually quite scary.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see through that picture. People imagine Bonneville is like this floor here, lovely and smooth.
Yeah.
It's actually like a ploughed field.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell.
And when you start going quite fast on it, it's got ruts, it's got ripples.
Tend to track down them a bit.
Yeah, people say to you, what side do you prefer, the left side or the right side? I'm like, any side that I'm going forward. Doesn't really matter.
And staying upright.
And staying upright,
Yeah.
that's it. And it's a hardtail, so you've no suspension.
I think we've covered every nut, bolt, washer, leather strap, silver dollar, and shiny clear piece. This is a stunning piece. Well done, Craig, for bringing this to attention. And Jim, let me shake your hand because that's monstrously good.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you all the best in your next effort at winning.
Look out
a
for me on
record.
YouTube, Trike Junkie.
There you go. What junkie?
Trike Junkie.
Trike Junkie. I looked down there and I thought it was Funky Shit, but that's the name of the bike. Trike Junkie, if you want to find out more, Trike Junkie, Jim Duncan.